Hello everyone, Joanna here, and in today's video, I will be reviewing 5 new Middle Eastern perfumes in my collection. And mind you, these perfumes were kindly gifted to me, 3 from Paris Corner and 2 from Fragra.de. If you live in Europe, you probably heard about Fragra.de. Fragra.de is a website based in Germany, and they carry mostly Lattafa and Maison Alhambra fragrances. When it comes to new Lattafa perfume releases, they are available first at Fragra.de. So if you want to check out new Lattafa perfume releases and Maison Alhambra, I recommend you checking out Fragra.de, and I am now an affiliate with them. So I have discount code JOANNA10 for you at checkout. Now let's start this video by reviewing the 3 Paris Corner perfumes that I just received. So I have here Persiveron, Caramel Dulce, and Fayora. And I'm gonna start with Fayora. And guys, I'm so excited to let you know my honest thoughts and opinions about these fragrances. I'm gonna start off with Fayora basically because I love this fragrance so much. This is a sweet, musky scent that is extremely likable. It is definitely giving that soft, feminine, romantic vibes. And yeah, if you judge the bottle, you will think that it might be a dupe of I'm a Watch Guidance, but it is not. Now, let me read you the notes. It has passion fruit, rose, lily of the valley, violet, orris, jasmine, vanilla, sandalwood, cedar, and musk. I am definitely getting some rose water essence in here. Something feels very watery, and I think it is because of that rose water essence. That's the kind of rose scent that I get out of here. And of course, powdery violet. And I do get green vanilla, creamy sandalwood, and clean musk in the base. This fragrance is very likable, very soft, feminine, and elegant. To find this kind of scent from the Middle Eastern market is not easy, okay? Now, I know what you want to hear. How close is it to Dama Bianca? I have Dama Bianca, and of course, your girl have already compared them side by side. And let me just say that, yes, they are definitely similar. However, of course, not one-to-one. Definitely not one-to-one. I find Fayora to be sweeter and fruitier. I'm definitely getting here like a sweet, concentrated passion fruit extract. Yeah. And I don't get it from Dama Bianca. Dama Bianca starts off very smooth, refined, floral, powdery, musky scent from beginning until the end. Whereas Fayora smells sweet, fruity, and a little bit more floral. I can definitely get the Dama Bianca DNA here. However, I won't say that they are dupes. Okay? So if you are I think expecting it to smell exactly like Dama Bianca, it won't. This is Dama Bianca with a twist to my nose. And the twist that I'm talking about is that it is fruitier and a little bit more floral. Like the rose water essence is definitely present in here. Dama Bianca is more subdued, you know, vanilla, musky, sandalwood, and iris scent. However, Fayora is still very beautiful. And I would say that amongst all the 5 perfumes that I'm going to review in today's video, this is the one that I love the most. Performance-wise, it projects better than Dama Bianca, okay? So having said that, I find the performance of Fayora to be above average, and considering it is quite hot now in Portugal, okay? I can tell that this is going to be a good performer. It lasted me around 5 to 7 hours already, okay, at first spray. So yeah, I have high hopes about this fragrance, and I am really, really enjoying it. Once again, Fayora by Paris Corner. I highly, highly recommend this fragrance if you are into sweet, fruity, refined, and clean, musky scent. Love this fragrance. Right, next up is Persiveron. And by the color of the bottle, I think you will have an idea how it smells like. I know it's giving caramel vibes, and it's also giving Altair's vibes. And what can I say? This is a straight up dupe of Parfums de Marly's Altair. Now, I only have a decant of Altair and I have a bottle of liquid brown. I didn't bother buying a full bottle of Altair because even though I appreciate it, it's nice, but it's not my favorite scent profile, if you know what I mean. So I was okay with a dupe, which is liquid brown. And of course, I've tested them side by side. And guys, what can I say? They smell exactly the same. With Persiveron though, I do get the cardamom and cinnamon more in the opening. So the opening of Persiveron is not as sweet as liquid brown. However, I can tell that as time goes by, they will just smell exactly the same. Like I couldn't tell them apart. Sweet vanilla and caramel combo plus that orange blossom factor in the background. Yes, I do get the woods as well, but very, very slightly. This to me is mainly caramel. Spices like cinnamon and cardamom, and yeah, sweet vanilla, plus that whipped cream texture. It is indeed a beautiful scent. However, in my opinion, I think if you have Liquid Brown by French Avenue, I don't think you need Persiveron. Scent-wise and performance-wise, this is A+. It definitely performed the first time I sprayed it, and it lasted already for a long time. I think if you still don't have any dupe of Altair in your collection and you are looking for a more affordable version of Altair, I recommend you checking out Persiveron. I'm happy to have Persiveron in my collection because I can tell that there is quality in this fragrance. Beautifully blended, and even though it is sweet, it is not too sweet. As mentioned, I get more cardamom and other spices in here than the actual caramel sweetness. The texture is more of like whipped creamy. Compared to Liquid Brown, I find Liquid Brown to be having like a thicker caramel texture. Yeah, so that is the difference. However, guys, nobody can tell, I think, the difference if you smell this on air. Yeah, that's just my thought. Once again, Persiveron by Paris Corner. And I find this fragrance unisex. Next is the last one from Paris Corner, and this is Caramel Dulce under the Minya collection. And I just want to show you, by the way, like the rhinestones effect in the bottle. Very nice, very beautiful. Now, Caramel Dulce already sounded like it's going to be a gourmand. And yes, it is. Wow. This is definitely a caramel popcorn scent that is very buttery as well. It's definitely gourmand, definitely sweet. I got straight away the buttery caramel popcorn scent out of this fragrance with an extra sweetness coming from chocolate. Also, there's some nuttiness going on as well because of the chestnut that is in here. Very sweet, very gourmand. I can confirm that this is a very close dupe of Lush's Let the Good Times Roll. I don't own that fragrance because to me, I just find it too sweet. However, I'm very familiar with it because I once owned shower gel of it and I finished a bottle. And yeah, this is definitely giving Let the Good Times Roll. And I think if you are into extremely sweet, gourmand, lick me kind of scents, you will definitely love Caramel Dulce. It smells like a bucket of roasted chestnut and buttery caramel popcorn drizzled with chocolate. And yeah, it's making me hungry right now. Yeah, once again, Caramel Dulce by Paris Corner. Longevity and projection, I will say for the first 2 hours, this was very loud. However, it kind of like dies down on the third hour. Yes, it lasted very well on my skin. However, not a beast mode. Now, I highly recommend this fragrance if you love Let the Good Times Roll. If you love that fragrance, no doubt you're gonna love Caramel Dulce as well. And having said that, this fragrance is feminine leaning. The last two fragrances are the ones that I received from Fragra.de. I don't think these two new fragrances are new. However, I think I have a very different and interesting take about these fragrances. So I'm going to talk about Petra. And we all know that this fragrance is hyped already in social media, okay? And I was very, very excited, actually, to finally get my nose on this fragrance because of the hype, of course. Now, the first time I sprayed it, I was definitely reminded of Quattro Pizzi by Xerjoff because of the spicy and boozy aspect of it. However, I compared them side by side, okay? And nope, they are not dupes. Not dupes at all. Let me tell you what I think of Petra. This is my scent of the day, by the way. I can tell that the rum and plum are very heavy in here, to the point that I don't really get tuberose. I think the tuberose is only in the air. Like when I asked my husband how he smelled it, he told me that it's a floral scent. And guess what? To me, this is not floral at all. I'm getting like tobacco, cinnamon, and rum out of this fragrance. Like the plum is not really like the fruit plum that I'm expecting. Yeah, it smells a little bit dusty to me. I don't get as well coconut in here. By the way, let me read you the notes. It has rum, plum, tuberose, coconut, vanilla, praline, and musk. And what I'm getting out of this fragrance is rum, tobacco. I don't know how come I'm getting tobacco in here, and some spices. The tuberose is just in the background, very faint. Coconut, I'm barely getting it as well. It seems like musk and vanilla are grounding this fragrance. Yes. However, I'm not getting praline here. I don't get a lot of sweetness out of it. I find it to be like a spicy, dry, floral scent. It smells very niche though. Yeah, but I wish it is creamier. And what I mean by creamier is that I wish that I get the coconut note out of this fragrance because I cannot smell it. I have it for a week. I'm gonna let it sit for a while and check if it's gonna be smoother in the future. But yeah, that is my thought about it. And I was quite surprised. I really thought that I'm gonna love this fragrance. Now, just in case, you want to know the comparison between the two, Quattro Pizzi is definitely more floral, more tuberose, but, very refined and delicate. If you watch my channel, you know that I'm not into tuberose, but the tuberose in here is doing it for me, and love the contrast of the coconut and rum in this fragrance. However, with Petra, I think I am getting the top notes more than the mid and base notes. Yeah, very potent in rum, and the plum in here to me comes across to be like a combo of cinnamon and tobacco. Yeah. So I'm getting like some dusty scent out of it. Now, I think I'm the only one who perceived this fragrance that way. Has any of you feel the same way? Please validate my feelings. As of now, I'm still understanding this fragrance, but I know that a lot of you will like this fragrance because it is complex. If you love boozy scents, I think you're gonna love this fragrance. And yeah, I think if you get more coconut as well, maybe you will appreciate it more than me. Longevity and projection are above average as well. So I think that is great. I think I'm gonna go back again to this fragrance maybe in a month or two to check if I will still get the dustiness though. All right, next up is True Word by Maison Alhambra. Now, I was so excited to check this fragrance out because it is a dupe of Ex Nihilo's Blue Talisman. And I really like that fragrance. Now, there are a couple of Blue Talisman dupes out there, and I think this is the first one that I've tried. Let me read you the notes. It has pineapple, cardamom, incense, vanilla, sage, patchouli, sandalwood, and tonka bean. And I don't really get sage in here, neither patchouli. I find it aromatic and light, but very watery. Yes, I do get the similarity with Blue Talisman. I don't own a bottle. However, I have a decant and I've compared them side by side. True Word is definitely lighter and airier. It almost feels like water. Okay, so in essence, it is very like a watery Blue Talisman. It is very fresh though, light and airy. The similarity to Blue Talisman, I would say, is quite far, even though like they have the same DNA, but similarity, I think this is like 75% close. Not a bad fragrance though. It's very fresh, clean, and aromatic. I do get the pineapple and tonka bean out of this fragrance. But yeah, to me, it's more of like a vanilla, musky scent that is quite aromatic. The incense in here is very faint, you know, so to me, it really smells like a watered down Blue Talisman. Will I recommend it? Yes, especially if you like the DNA of Blue Talisman. However, you find it too thick or heavy for you, and if you're looking for a lighter and airier version of that, I think True Word will be okay for you. Longevity and projection, I will say this lasted me around 4 to 5 hours. Moderate to soft projection. However, I'm not complaining. I find this fragrance to be very likable. It is giving me like the same vibes and feel. Glorious Oud Royal Blanc by French Avenue, the dupe of Musk Therapy by Initio. They have something in common. So I think if you love that Glorious Oud Royal Blanc, you will like True Word as well. They have the same watery feel to it. And yeah, this fragrance is unisex. Once again, True Word by Maison Alhambra. And yeah, they are both available at fragra.de. And yes, I do have a discount code for the website for you guys. So that is the video for today, guys. Those are my honest thoughts and opinions about these 5 new Middle Eastern perfumes in my collection. Let me know if you have any of them and let me know your experience, because yeah, I'm always curious about how you perceive these fragrances, guys. Let me know in the comments down below. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, guys, and see you on my next one. Bye!